Hi everyone, it's Eileen here, and today I'm going to be talking about Entamoeba histolytica, which is a protozoan parasite that can cause liver abscess, inflammation of the liver, and amoebic dysentery. It is also known as amoebasis. This protozoan parasite has a mature cyst, which is the circular one with 4 nuclei, and it also has the trophocyte, which is the mobile form and uses a pseudopod to move around. It has an irregular shape and 1 nucleus, as you can see, the one on the right. Now, disclaimer, I am not an artist, but I am trying my best here to draw. Alrighty, before I explain how this protozoan parasite affects the human body, I wanted to mention that the reservoir and the host range are mammals. Alrighty, so how it first begins is ingestion of this mature cyst will happen from contaminated food, and then it will go into the stomach. Nothing will happen to this mature cyst. It'll just then go to the small intestine, and then in the small intestine it will turn into a trophocyte. The trophocytes will then move into the large intestine, where they will establish colonization. They will begin replicating here into mature cysts or more trophocytes. Once they become mature cysts, they will be pooped out, and this is the poop that is contaminated. And if someone doesn't wash their hands and touches food and somebody eats it, they have a possibility of ingesting or digesting this mature cyst. Now, there are 2 types of infections. There's a non-invasive and invasive infection. Here, I'm gonna talk about what the non-invasive infection is. I'm gonna blow up the layers of the large intestine. So the cells on the left are the epithelial cells, and then there's a mucus lining in the large intestine. Now the trophocytes will adhere to the mucus lining and keep replicating mature cysts, and then that's when they will keep traveling through poop and be pooped out. The invasive infection here, I'm going to do the same drawing with the epithelial cells and the mucus lining of the large intestine. So what will happen here is that the trophocytes will invade and colonize the epithelial cells. They will cause damage and cause the cells to lyse and die. As you can see here, the cells are like lysed. This is where ulcers will occur, the destruction of the epithelial cells. And here I'm drawing a blood vessel, because that's what's next to the epithelial cells. Oftentimes is a blood vessel, which can then allow for these trophocytes to travel to a different site, to oftentimes the liver, to the lungs, or to the brain. Alrighty, here I just wrote down the steps of how this mature cyst goes throughout the body, but I also wanted to cover the virulence factors. One of the virulence factors is that the cyst wall is resistant to acidity of the stomach, which allows it to survive in the stomach. Another one is that it's able to adhere to the mucus lining of the large intestine. It also causes tissue damage due to the hydrolytic enzymes that it releases. Alrighty, lastly, it has a virulence factor of downregulation of the cell immediate immune system. So it increases the level of anti-inflammatory cytokine, which suppresses the immune system to not allow for eosinophils and cytotoxic T cells to kill the trophocyte. And that's why it's able to travel to other sites of the body and sometimes be asymptomatic, because the eosinophils are not being able to detect it. Now, for those who do have symptoms, it consists of cramping, diarrhea, bloody diarrhea, stomach pain, severe abdominal cramping. Unfortunately, it did get cropped out here, but that's what I had written. Sometimes, as I already mentioned, there could be no symptoms. The incubation period is 2 to 4 weeks, but can last years. For treatment, they usually prescribe metrodiazole, which inhibits DNA replication. They also do paramycin, which will inhibit protein synthesis by interacting with the ribosomal units, which is what will prevent it from coming back. There's also, for liver abscesses, if they're very severe, surgical treatment is often given, and IVs for hydration. Alrighty, next is prevention. So to stop fecal contamination of food and water, so washing your hands when handling food, avoid sexual practices that involve fecal oral. As far as vaccines, there's only vaccines for animals. They use an anti-agent for the parasite, but there is no vaccines for humans yet. Alrighty, that's it for this video. This is Entamoeba Histolytica. I hope this video was helpful, and I hope you guys are having a great day.